Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of the Women of Power Show, the show where women share their personal power tools, the techniques, strategies, and ways of being which have enabled their success in life and business. This is a full-blown exploration of feminine power, and today I'm joined by two incredible guests. Why? So we can have double the conversation. Why should we limit ourselves in conversation? First and foremost, I've got the most incredible lady who is a transformational coach for women, a hypnotherapist, a sexpert, and a TEDx speaker, Valentina Tudose. I'm also joined with somebody who thought it was an incredible idea to start a chocolate business in the middle of a pandemic. Why? We're about to find out. Sanina is also joining us here today. Hello, ladies, and welcome to the show.
Hello, very nice to be here.
Valentina, I would love to start with you, my darling. The work that you do, how are you combining life coaching, hypnotherapy, and all of the other skills that you've got? It feels like quite a broad spectrum of skills that you've pulled together.
It is, and believe it or not, I never started out trying to be all these things in one go. They just evolved as I evolved in my coaching. I first started with dating coaching for single women. Then I added hypnotherapy because I was fascinated by the idea of the subconscious mind. Then I qualified as a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner. And then I started exploring a lot of spiritual practices, meditation, and all sorts of many different things, which I'm not going to go into the detail of, which I then was able to combine in one seamless process that helps people get to their objective much faster.
And so you work with people around their relationships specifically. And how did you find the hypnotherapy? This is fascinating me. Like, how did you find the hypnotherapy linked in with supporting people and being much more powerful in their relationships?
As a coach, I look at how I can help people create a better future. So we're looking forward towards a vision that they have and give them the tools and the strategies that enable them to get to that vision as fast as possible. However, most of us have had a lot of traumas, a lot of difficulties along the way up to the moment that we are today. And I realized that by coaching tools, by simply addressing these issues throughout the conscious mind, so our ability to make choices and our ability to connect with ourselves, the person that we are today, this was not as fast and as efficient as I thought it could be. So when I discovered hypnotherapy and the amazing power that it gives us to go and almost rewrite the stories that we've told ourselves in the past, and to create almost like a blank slate on which we can then build a new version of the future, leaving all that all the difficult conclusion, all the self-defeating programs that we have installed in our mind. That has really created a complete new way of approaching the change, the transformation that I enable in my clients.
When you put it like that, Valentina, it makes so much sense. And talking about transformation and different ways of thinking, Anna, a pandemic is going on at the moment. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. And you decided it would be a good idea to dive into your love and passion of chocolate. Please explain.
Yeah, so pandemic didn't stop me basically doing that. I have a day job as well. I'm a full-time working in corporate business, and I'm a full-time mom as well. I'm a single mother. But 2020 just gave me this opportunity to spend some time doing what I'm passionate about. So months in 2020, I've been basically practicing and trying to get my skills to the perfect state to be able to offer it to other people. And yeah, pandemic didn't stop that because, first of all, I'm working from home. And my kitchen was totally transformed into my chocolate kitchen now. It's a rare thing. A rare thing. You don't see me in the kitchen doing anything else but chocolate these days. That was fine. I post throughout UK, so I don't have a shop, and I'm not planning to open a shop as such, or a cafe. So it works fine, and people love chocolate. Don't always need to have a celebration. You don't always need Christmas or New Year to get a box of chocolate. It can be just something for yourself and to enjoy in one evening.
I love it, because what I'm loving about what you say, and I really want to take my hat off to you. If I had a hat, I'd be taking it off right now, because I just think it's incredible that you found something that you really love and that you're passionate about, and you've decided, regardless of what else is going on in the world right now, that you're going to go and pursue that. And speaking of passion, what is it, Valentina, that you think, in terms of relationships and in terms of the current kind of situation that we're finding ourselves in at the moment, with lockdowns on and off, especially here in the UK and other parts of the world, what is it that you think is required for relationships to prosper when the situation changes and the stresses sometimes on those relationships can become even more profound, shall we say?
Actually, one of the biggest misconceptions that I've been hearing for the last 7 years working with couples has been that the most important thing we need to learn to be good at relationships is communication skills. But for me, actually, what we really need to learn to be better partners with each other and to be more flexible and more adaptable to make sure that we can face these kind of traumatic and dramatic changes that are happening in our life is really to learn to take responsibility for ourselves, for our emotions, for what we bring to the relationship. As you say, the lockdown has been really challenging for many people. I live actually in Hong Kong, so very far away from the UK, in a place with a very high population density where people live in very, very small places. And I've had to deal with a lot of emergency sessions with my clients to help them handle the additional pressure that they've been facing because of this, and educate them on relationship skills that actually we don't really get proper education on. So learning how to self-soothe, learning how to listen better, active listening, and learning how to manage our emotions have been really critical skills that I've been focusing on a lot.
Managing emotions. Valentina, I mean, you've just touched on something which I think is so, whether you're in a relationship or not, if you have a business, managing relationships, the relationship with yourself and everything else going on is one heck of a roller coaster. Anna, how have you been finding the emotional roller coaster, or just the emotional journey of opening your own business, particularly in the current landscape? How has that been for you? How have you managed it?
I think the initial emotions, and that's what I would advise anyone thinking about doing something in life, business or not, is not let procrastination in your way. And if you are doing something, you must surely try to do your best, which means don't stop, try and continue to do what you want to do. If you have somebody to bounce your ideas and emotions, to be able to talk to somebody, that's a great help. If not, talk to yourself, as strange as it may sound, but be your own devil's advocate and be your own angel to handle that. That's probably the best thing to do. Then you are getting where you want to be. And people feel that, because people know if you do something with passion and something you love, that through your service or product, it passes to other people as well.
I love that. Do the thing that you're passionate about. And if you can retain that passion, whether you're brand new or not, I think it goes a huge way in business. And I love that what you've done, Anna, is you've picked something that you're passionate about to start your business with. Valentina, how, speaking of passion, you know, I love this mix of chocolate and relationships. I'm like, and Valentine's Day around the corner. Or it might have already happened, we don't know. I love this idea of sort of passion. So for those people who found that, let's just say, you would think spending a lot of time with your partner would ignite more passion, but for those to whom a lot of time has quenched the flames of passion, do you have any tips or techniques, anything that they could do practically that might help to reignite those flames?
Well, reigniting the spark is one of my favorite topics, so thanks for asking that question. I think getting a little mystery in the relationship is really the most important element of desire, because the spark means we desire our partner, we see them as an external, attractive, mysterious and desirable that we actually want to have right now. But proximity and familiarity and safety, actually those things that we want so much in a relationship, are the biggest passion killers. So even when you're spending a lot of time with your partner, even when you think you know each other inside out, literally, and that there is no new conversation, no new story that your partner can tell you, try to preserve a little bit of your individuality, a little bit of mystery, and create a little bit of distance, so that in that space of mystery and unknown, or otherness, as Esther Perel calls it, there is an opportunity for new desire to be created.
Reignite the mystery. Reignite it, bring it back. Maybe go for an extra long walk in the park so your partner has a little bit of a chance to miss you for a moment. Anna, your chocolates, because now it's getting to that time of day where I could do with a little snack, you know, an afternoon snack, a bit of a pick-me-up. Your chocolates, you make those all yourself from scratch. Why did you pick chocolate? Where did that passion come from?
I actually, it's funny, when I started already doing it, and a couple of months after, my mom said, "Do you know that when you were a child, you and your friend said that one day you will open a chocolate shop?" And I was absolutely amazed to hear that. And I said, "Why did you not tell me that 10 years ago? I must have done that already." So I guess I took my passion from a long time ago. But I guess I'm a sweet lover, so I love chocolate and I love everything sweet. But I guess the high street chocolates is there, and it's maybe just a bit dated to some people, and you want something unique and really high quality. I was really on about quality, so I buy the best quality chocolate to produce the best quality final result, final product. So yeah, I took a year ago, a bit over a year ago, I took a chocolate course with Helen Vaz. She's a Scottish chef who won MasterChef Creme de la Creme. And she had just a vocational introduction to chocolate course where we did cakes and creams, and just one of the classes was the bonbons I'm now making. So that's where it all kind of revealed.
I think it's a great reminder, because I think when it comes to starting businesses, it's so easy to think of it as this huge, grandiose thing, and to forget that everything sort of starts one step at a time. It's you take the first step, and then the second step kind of reveals itself, and then the third step reveals itself. And it's often how we fall into our romantic relationships, right? I mean, some of us have those crazy blasts where it all happens all at once, but often it's one thing at a time. And the other thing is often the erosion of a relationship sort of sneaks up on you. It's kind of one little thing you stop doing at a time, and one day you wake up and you think, who's this fool next to me? So Valentina, how do you stop that? Like, how do you recognize when perhaps you're not doing the things you used to do, to avoid that moment of waking up one day and thinking, who is this person? Where did you come from? Where's the spark gone? Are there any signs that we're heading in the wrong direction here? We need to do a U-turn.
Well, maybe a U-turn is not exactly what is always needed, but what is really important in a relationship is to delay as much as possible the taking each other for granted stage. That really in relationship coaching terms, we see this on and on and on. Every single couple is going through that. The excitement of the beginning, as you say, it's a step-by-step process, right? And in the beginning, we want to know each other so deeply, and we want to become one, right? We always say two become one, and it's so beautiful. But then we also experience the opposite of all these fears of rejection. And the opposite of fear of rejection is the fear of losing oneself in this relationship, of becoming too much the other person. So when we forget who we are, and when we forget to create this mystery and this distance to allow space for desire to continue to grow, we sometimes forget all the things that actually attracted our partner to us, because we've become so much like them that we've forgotten that what they really were looking for and what really made them excited about us is all those things that we did differently. So to avoid the taking each other for granted stage in a relationship, what I encourage my clients to do is to create a lot of couples rituals that allow them to continue to discover each other. And most importantly, to find strategies in which they can grow together as opposed to growing apart, which is what happens when we get disconnected and we lose this feeling of intimacy.
I love what you say, discover each other, because I think once you've been in a relationship for a while, you can feel like, I already know you. There's nothing new for me to discover. So I love that you say, Valentina, it's about creating those experiences in which we can start to discover or rediscover each other, especially if you can be in the same household for a while. It's happened to me and my husband. In the same house, I mightn't see him for the whole day. The whole day. I don't think it's a good thing, by the way. I don't think it's something that we should be encouraging. So this show is the Women of Power show, right? But I think before we can dive into power and what feminine power is, I think we need to define feminine power first. So I'm really curious from both of you to understand what you define as the essence of a woman's power, because I don't know that we all necessarily define it in exactly the same way. Anna, how do you define a woman's power? What do you think is the essence of a woman's power?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because how do you define specifically woman power over men power? But I guess we can handle more. I strongly believe we can. Like physically, we can. I know we always say men are stronger, but is it really the case? Physically? We definitely can handle more. And I guess we are stronger in finding that power within us. I think this is where we work so much to find this power within us, to cope with so much that life gives us. If you think about woman's life from childhood to the very end, we go through so much that I think we are stronger to try to find it within us. If it's something that we can find out with our own body and mind, that's even better, but we are definitely always searching for it. So, and when we do, I think that's where we grab onto it and we just get better at it every day. That's one of the things we do, don't we? We all do, I think. All women do that.
So it's really something that comes from within, and we've got it. It's a natural, innate thing. Love it. Valentina, what's your perspective? What do you think is the essence of a woman's power?
For me, our real power comes from our ability to actually embrace all parts of ourselves, the feminine and the masculine. We all have both types of energy. And what I think women do exceedingly well when they are fully empowered is to accept that we are made of, darkness and light, and that there are shadows and there are amazing parts of ourselves which we love to let shine. but giving ourselves this love and compassion and acceptance that we are everything and that we are divine actually makes us stand out. And when a woman truly steps into that power, she is able to give that to everyone around her. You know, we're born to be nurturers and carers, and only by truly embracing this dual nature, I think we are able to share that power with others.
So it's a combination of us being able to really look and say, not reject any part of us, but accept all of those different components of us, even those components that perhaps we don't like, we're not in love with right now. They make us feel a certain sort of way. We need to learn to love those as well. So here's where we get to the... Sorry, go on, babe.
I said, especially those parts that we don't like.
Especially those parts. Especially the ones that we don't like. So here's the thing, I'm now sat in front of two incredibly powerful women. And so it would be wrong of me not to dive a little bit deeper into your power, such that others can learn from it. So my view is, I think that we as women in particular can look at what others are up to and start to feel, let's say, less than intimidated, drawn within ourselves, because look at them. They're doing all of these extraordinary, exquisite things. I couldn't possibly do it. So here is how I have come up with to help women out there to find something from those women like yourselves that are out there in the world doing incredible work, that we can begin to see ourselves within you. So here's the question. If I were to look and take everything you've done in your life and business to date, and we were to boil that down into a handful of power tools, and I'd like to get at least 2 from each of you. And I define that as they can be tools, strategies, ways of being that you say have been absolutely pivotal to the success that you've had so far. I would like to know what they are. So I'm going to start with you, Anna. If you could give me your first one, what would be your first power tool?
Well, I guess my first one would be to become really good at what you're doing and really aim high. While doing that, you will become better every day. It will be a journey as is, but every day is going to be a lesson. And every day you slowly but surely will become better. So that would be my first thing.
The first one, I would say, aim for excellence. Like, don't go mediocre. What do they say? Shoot for the stars, you may just land upon the moon. So Absolutely. Set your targets, set your objectives, your goals, your ambitions really high and aim for absolute excellence. Mm-hmm. Valentina, what's your first power tool?
For me, the most important tool that I've created was really this unique combination of the different life experiences that I've had working in advertising, shifting into coaching, exploring hypnotherapy, past lives, intuition, tarot card readings, bringing everything together in a coherent program that is quite unique, and I know that is very appealing to my clients. So I think my most important power tool could be summarize this creativity, creatively connecting the dots between such diverse skills that now I can put together a completely different picture for my clients.
Creativity. I think it's one of those things that we shy away from, at least for me with the clients that I work with. I often find that as women, we do a lot of things. We have lots of interests in different parts of our lives, and often in business that can be something that we can see as something that's not helpful to us. There are all of these different things. How do I piece them together? So I love, Valentina, that you've summarized that as creativity. It's fine for me to have all of these different interests, and I can creatively bring them all into the work that I do with my clients. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love that. And I love your take on creativity in terms of bringing together all these vast different areas within our life. So we've got one power tool out of each of you. Let's dive into the second one. Anna, what would be your second power tool? Hit us with it.
I guess I would say to find a source of energy that will give you even more energy to do what you want to do. For some people, it can be yoga. For some people, it's waking up early in the morning to do chores to then have a full day to do what you like. For some people, it's spending quality time with your family or kids, or just walk in the park. Find that source, because have you ever noticed when you sometimes do more, you have energy to do even more? It kind of feeds into to your energy level. So find that thing that gives you more energy, and you will just fly.
What are we going to call it? Like your power up thing, whether that's
Yeah,
meditating.
like find your wings, right? What makes you fly? That will just empower you to do even more.
Such a great reminder, because I think we know what they are. We know those things, and often in the busyness of life, we forget them. Like for me, it's having a long soak in the bath. Like that is if I do that, I'm back and fully energized and ready to go. If I'm not doing that, if I'm not doing my morning routine, those sorts of things, I find that myself quite depleted. And so it's a great reminder, if you're watching or listening to this, that it's really important that we can return back to those things that give us energy. And sometimes it's little things. It might be cooking. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is for you. Just make sure you're doing it. Valentina, over to you. Power tool number 2.
I think power tool number 2 is authenticity. For me, it's very important that I embody this, what I call the inner queen, which is essentially the woman of power that you are talking about. This part of me, or all of me, that embraces the good, the bad, the negative, the positives, and to live with it and to own it and to take responsibility for all those parts of me. So being authentic in everything that I do is something that I think inspires my clients to want to experience a similar version of themselves.
So beautiful. Authenticity is one of those words that, especially in the space of personal development, we can find that it's bounded around a lot. But one thing I do know is, at least for me on my journey, authenticity has often required a significant dose of, let's say, courage. I've had to get into the courage pot and throw a ton of that on top of it in order to be able to show up as myself. And that is a whole other show with a whole other layer. I mean, there's layers upon layers upon layers just in there alone. But I love that you brought that to the table. A great reminder to be authentically you, because let's face it, everybody else is taken. So you may as well do you. Ladies, you have both been absolutely incredible. This has been a really awesome show. I'm loving kind of diving into the various different ways in which we powerfully show up as women. There'll be people who've been listening to this point and you've sparked interest. Perhaps they love chocolate and they're inspired to now go off and start their own businesses. Or there's something in the back of their mind where they've gone, oh, hold on a minute, my relationship could possibly do with a little bit more work. It feels like we're drifting apart and not back together. I love the start of that, but I could do with a little bit more. I would love to hear how do they get in touch with you? And do you have anything in particular available that they might be able to get, like a little sample, just a little tiny little sample? Anna, what about you? How do people get in touch with you?
Right. Well, I'm on all social media. It's called Bella Chocolate. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. There is my website as well, Bella-Chocolate.UK. So place orders there as well. And I do offers there and then. There are a couple of ongoing offers just now for Valentine's. And just explore, and you can always DM me for any questions. And I'll be happy to accommodate anyone's dietary requirements as well, because I offer a lot of vegan treats and gluten-free, lacto-free chocolate and stuff like that. So by all means, get in touch and I'll be happy to share.
You got my attention when you said you've got vegan and lactose-free. Not that I'm either of those things, but my husband is vegan. So if he sees this episode, I'm going to have no excuse for not getting him chocolates. Let's just put it that way. That's bellachocolate.co.uk. You can head over there. Valentina, how do people get in touch with you?
Easiest way is to actually visit my website, which is happyeverafter.asia. Happy, not happily, may I add, all in one word. Or they can find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is The Real Queen Maker, because I believe in making women find their inner queen. And also on my website, on happyeverafter.asia, I do offer a free downloadable meditation, which is 25 minutes of revealing your inner queen. So because you're dealing with women of power, this meditation is about finding that inner power and inner peace.
What a beautiful gift. You'll need to head over there and grab you a copy of this. If you happen to be, you can always head over to the YouTube channel as well, or livelda.com/podcast, and you'll be able to find all of the details that the ladies have shared on this show today. Really quickly, if both of you could just leave us with just like a sentence, just one thing, one powerful message each, what would that be? Valentina, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. The one sentence that I like to say to all my clients is to trust yourself, that there is a queen inside of you.
And Anna, what would you add? What would you like to say?
Really adding to Valentina's sentence, be yourself, embrace your power, and fly.
Be yourself, embrace your power, and shine. That's all we've got time for today. You've been listening and watching the Livelda Show, Women of Power. This show is the show dedicated to the internal power of women and what it is that we do and how we show up in the world. Until next time, it's been wonderful connecting with you. Do make sure that you follow us on Instagram at Livelda Show. And until the next time, have a wonderful, wonderful day ahead. Take care. Ciao.